Hello, this is Jcamera here, and today we're going to be taking a look at the LEGO Simpsons minifigure blind bags Series 2 released in 2015. And here is the packaging. You have the blue background. In fact, I even have Series 1 to compare this to. This one, to me, looks a little bit darker. It also has yellow with it to help distinguish it, which is fair enough. Because you have more than one of something, you've got to be able to tell them apart. I am like that as well. And then, if we take a look at the checklist, this is my personal one right here. And then also we have the tag here, the Simpsons logo, also in yellow, ages 5+. The set number is 71009, in case anyone was curious. And here's the checklist. Again, I'll compare them in a second. I'm just trying to see. So we get numbered up to 16. We get advertisement for the website. On the back, we get advertisement to the Simpsons house set, which came out in 2014, a year prior, alongside Series 1. And yeah, you can see what I was talking about with some of the other variants and all that. And then we get an advertisement for the Quickie Mart set, which came out the same year. And unless you count LEGO Dimensions, this was all that LEGO Simpsons got until last year, 2025, by the time of filming this video, where we'd get the Krusty Burger set. And of course we get, yeah, some stuff advertised there. Yeah, this looks like it's a bit of a darker blue here, but also the way they've done it looks like they're meant to be on the shelf, which is really cool, and honestly, I kind of wish they did this back in Series 1. This is actually an improvement I think they made, which I didn't even mention because it's something I didn't even know I wanted to see, which is a pretty good sign of things to come. One downgrade, though, is that though it is cool to see the advertisements here, I do wish we saw a checklist for all the accessories and headpieces, but I guess I didn't think it was necessary. I mean, it's fine, it's a nitpick, whatever. Take it or leave it, I suppose. And now, we can actually take a look at the minifigures and their accessories. So first up is Homer Simpson in his date night variant, and he has a heart chocolate box for an accessory, and he also has his pants showing, which, if I get Homer out, let me just see, is this a different color? I think it might be. Yeah, it's actually a bit different, which I can't remember if in the show it was meant to be a different color, but if it wasn't meant to be that, then yeah, I do not like that at all, especially if it was only a year apart, but whatever. Just felt the need to point that out, and of course he has no printing on the back. He has exactly the same head as well. Yeah, I think it's a fine figure. I think you could have maybe done the Mr. Plow Homer instead for the Series 2 variant, something a bit more interesting. Like, it's a fine choice, makes sense. It is different and distinguishable, which is cool, and I can recognize what it's meant to be, which is the important thing. Like, there's better. The second figure is the date night variant of Marge Simpson, which comes with pretty cool flower accessory and then her purse, which is really cool. She comes with these really long white gloves with an orange dress. Actually orange this time, which is really cool. She comes with lipstick, which is cool. And she comes with a skirt piece, which I complained about this in the Series 1 video. I don't like how they wrapped around. I'm thankful that they recently rectified this, but I really don't like it. I mean, some angles it's fine, but others it looks very bad. Yeah. That's all I have to say on this figure. Yeah, I think I like this figure more than the Homer one. Yeah, not really much to talk about here. Like, it's fine, not my favorite, but not bad. Next up is Lisa Simpson in this pink dress. And we also have Snowball, I think Snowball the Second. I think that's the name of this cat. Like, from what I remember. And yeah, it's pretty cool. Like, pairing Lisa and this pet together is perfect. Like, the only duo pairing that makes sense. She has no printing, and the same issue as before, you know what to expect. She comes with dual molded pink and yellow short legs, which is really cool. A pink bow in the hair, which is really cool. Yeah, that's all I have to say on this. Next up, we have Maggie Simpson, who comes with Santa's Little Helper. And it's pretty cool that we finally got this. I do wish that this dog came with Bart, who would make a lot more sense. Either the Series 2 variant that we're going to see next, or even the Series 1 variant I would have liked, but it's cool that we got Santa's Little Helper at all, so I'll take it. I think this figure, a pretty waste of an inclusion. I think we didn't need Maggie, especially as, barring the head, it is exactly the same. In fact, this is the one that, if I'm correct, I'm 99% sure this is the one that we saw in the Simpsons house set. In fact, yeah, other than the eyes looking a different direction, having a slight expression change, it's exactly the same, which is kind of lazy, I'm not gonna lie. It's cool that we got Santa's Little Helper, but I would have preferred to have seen this character with Bart, personally. The final member of the Simpsons family is Bart Simpson in his Bartman attire, which looks really cool. He finally gets the slingshot as an accessory, which is really cool. Other than this rough cape piece and the headpiece, it's pretty much the same as the original Bart, especially down to the dual molded legs. The two differences now to the torso is that A, there's no printing on there, so he doesn't have the slingshot, but also, if you've noticed, it's not red, it's actually orange, which is cool, but it's kind of too late. Like, you already committed to the red, you may as well go with it. Like, they should have gone with orange for the start, I feel, which kind of makes this really frustrating to me. I really don't know why LEGO did this. If I had to guess, they had to distinguish them somehow, and what's also funny is that this is the only time Bart, with any of his figures, actually wore orange. The rest of them, he wore red. Even in the newer sets, like the ones that came out after, he goes back to the red, which is odd. But I do like that this is a shorter cape that fits, and I think this is actually a variant of Bart that does make sense. And the only character in this wave that includes a variant that isn't the Simpsons family is Milhouse. And here comes his little drink accessory, which is pretty cool. Yeah, this is, Radioactive Boy, I think. This is like in that one episode in season 7 where they're filming a Radioactive Man movie and Milhouse is cast as the sidekick, which is cool. And of course, he has the same legs as Bart. He comes with a short lime green cape. He has, I'm pretty sure, no printing, which makes sense. Which I really like. Makes them look cartoony. It fits the designs, and it's like, it's not necessary. It does cheapen them a bit, but arguably in the best way. And it's a costume that really makes sense, and it actually does pair very well with the Bartman outfit. Even though it's a bit weird that of all characters to get another variant that Nelson gets it, I'm glad that it makes sense in context, so I can let it slide. Now we can actually get to the brand new characters. I will say that all of these figures only appeared in this one set. None of them, at least as of making this video, are yet to appear again. First up is the comic book guy, which is the best minifigure ever. Yeah, I had to make that joke. Come on. He comes with a little squishy slushy there, and like a comic with Everyman, which is really cool. He actually has leg printing, which, barring the dual molding of the short legs, is very rare with these Simpsons figures, and it's really appreciated. And he just has this really fat belly, which, this was a mistake that I pointed out with Chief Wiggum in the other one, and to an extent Nelson Muntz, but in a different way, that they made him look puny. They really rectified that with the comic book guy, and I'm really happy for it. He doesn't have any printing here, but he also has side leg printing, which is cool, which makes up for it. And I love his beard and all that. And the hair and all that. Yeah, this is one of my favorite figures of this lineup, easily. Next up, we have the only brand new kid character from this CMF, Martin. And he comes with a book accessory, the old style book, which is labeled Coping with a High IQ, which is pretty funny if it's the character. I don't know if that was actually in the show or not, I can't remember, but yeah, the book is empty, it's just in this reddish brown color. And then he has the orange and yellow dual molded legs, and he has no printing on the back, as you would expect. And pretty cool printing, albeit similar to Homer, except instead of a little belly, instead he gets like a pocket with his pens, which is cool. The next figure is Professor Frinkle, so I forget this character's name. He comes with this beaker accessory filled up with lime green liquid, which is really cool. And he has not dual molding, he has printing on the legs, which is very rare. I like that they stepped up their game when it comes to the leg printing. He has no printing on the back, as you'd expect. A very tall head. He's one of the taller minifigures, in fact. Besides Marge, he's maybe contender for the tallest, which is really cool. And I like that they captured the look of this really nerdy, dorky, basic kind of lab rat kind of character, which is really cool. Next up, we have the Mole Man, which has this driver's license, which is like null and void, which is his accessory, which is pretty cool. Really love his head. He has one of my favorite heads out of all of these. Obviously, no printing on the back. He has short legs, and is one of the few minifigures throughout this franchise in Lego that has no printing on the legs, and also one of the few that isn't a child character. In fact, he's this elderly man. Like, I don't know, I can't remember how old he is, but still. And it's in green, which looks really cool. Yeah, pretty cool inclusion. Next, I have these two back-to-back, Patty and Selma, because I confused the two of them. One of them has this eye exam, which is really cool. And yeah, one of them is in blue, and then the other is in pink with a blue handbag. Different hairs, which is cool. I like that they're distinguishable. I think they're one of the weaker inclusions in the line, but I really like them. They look nice, and I like that they are still distinguishable. I don't like that they have fabric pieces. I think out of the newer characters, they're probably the worst ones. Maybe not worst, that's a bit strong, but on the lesser end for this line, aside from the variants, but they still look nice, and I do like these characters, so yeah, it's still cool to have them here. Next, we have Groundskeeper Willie, which is one of the best figures of the line easily, especially with the head with the amount of detail going on and the amount of red hair he has, which is really cool. And his plunger accessory is well made as well, and I like that it's actually rubbery, which they didn't have to do. They could have made hard plastic, but it's really appreciated. Although you can't take the piece off in case you want to do that, but not a big deal. We got plenty of sticks elsewhere, and besides, it's a relatively short stick. And then we get, I like that he just has printing on the arms, which is pretty rare for these figures. He actually has, like, hair on there, which is really cool. You don't see that often in figures. And you have pretty good printing. He doesn't have back printing, but that's to be expected. Dark green and dark tan. Nice colors, great translation. Easily one of the best choices and translation. Next up, we have Bart's 4th grade teacher, Edna Krabappel, and this is a pretty cool figure to have. Her accessories include a pink mug. Not much to really note there, and she comes with this portrait here. I'm blanking on who this character is. But yeah, that's cool. Once again, she has a skirt piece, which I really can't stand when Lego does this. And I should also point out, this also applies to Marge. Sorry, she fell off. Very hard as well. She actually has no prints on her. It's just exposed yellow legs like Marge Simpson, which is interesting to note. I guess they were just lazy. They could have easily printed on there, but it gives the skirt more of a purpose and more life to it, so fair enough. And I love her expression. It makes her look very bored, which is going like she has negative printing on her torso, and Yeah, that's all I have to say, honestly. Yeah, that expression sums it all up perfectly. The penultimate minifigure is Mr. Burns' assistant, Smithers, which makes sense. We got the main man, and then we're saving the assistant up for series 2. I really like the accessory with Malibu's Stacy doll, like the one with the hat in that season 5 episode, which is pretty cool. It's actually one of my favorite episodes of Simpsons. It's a cool inclusion. And it's in 2 pieces, which is very rare, but it makes sense. It's meant to be a toy inside of a box, which is really cool. And he has no printing on there. Yeah, one of the best inclusions. I don't really have much to say. Easily one. I think this, besides Santa's Little Helper and maybe the Beaker with Professor Frinkle, this is possibly my favorite accessory out of them all. And it fits his character as well because, as we all know, Smithers is gay, so really fits. And the final figure of this lineup is Dr. Hibbert, who is the only non-white, or in this case, yellow figure of the line. He comes with a X-ray showing Homer's brain, and this is a reference to the episode where we realize Homer is dumb because as a kid, he shoved crayons up the brain. It was a cool reference, which they didn't have to do, but it's still really appreciated. And then, like, in that episode, Dr. Hibbert takes out the crayons to make him smarter, and like his IQ reaches above 100 or something. I can't remember what his IQ was, but whatever. It's not important. What's important is that this figure exists, and he has no back printing. He has leg printing though, which is really cool, and side printing, and like silver printing for the Doctor thing. So I can't remember names. I am really bad with naming things, if you can't tell already. But it's still cool there, and a face that really fits the character. Yeah, pretty cool inclusion. Not really anything else to say. And yeah, there's the summary of the figures. I was a lot more briefer than last time, because I just don't have as much to say. I will say the CMF is overall, the series is oh so great like Series 1, but I wouldn't say it's as good as Series 1. Like, I think it does make some improvements here and there. Like, the translation is definitely better here than it was in Series 1, and the instruction thing, as I pointed out, is really cool, but I also think they kept some of the issues, specifically the cloth piece. It's just as bad here. They didn't really fix it, in my opinion. And I think the inclusions are mostly solid, but the variants were a bit odd, and like, some of the characters that we haven't seen yet, it's a bit jarring to see them not here. And this is also, whenever I see a review of this, I usually see, where's this character, where's this, and all that. And I do kind of agree, but you could argue that's a good complaint to have. Like, if your one complaint is, we want more, that is a good thing. Yeah, like, I would like to see them do Principal Skinner, Troy McClure, Mo Sislak, Maya Quimby, Fat Tony, Barney. I mean, we never see Barney, but still, I'd like to see Leonard. I'd like to see, I'm just trying to think of the characters we could be seeing. We could be seeing, those purple twins at Bart's school. We could be seeing, that pale kid. We could be seeing Sideshow Mel. We could be seeing, for instance, and that sailor dude. Yeah, and so many other characters we could be seeing, but I could give the benefit of the doubt that they might be saving them up for a Series 3, although we never got a follow-up to this series after this. Instead, we got some sets that featured some more characters. And those characters are the most expensive ones, at least to my knowledge. So if I ever do a showcase of all the figures, that's going to be fun. I'm specifically eyeing Snake when I say that, but at least we got a few new characters with Snake, Sideshow Bob, the teenager guy, and Chief Louie, I think. I think that's his name anyway. As well as some very minor variations on some of the classic characters, which is cool. So if I do a collection video of all these figures, which I do plan on maybe doing one day eventually, I I'm definitely getting the new characters for sure, as well as showing Series 1 and 2 side by side. But also, I might do the variants, but I'm probably only going to do the ones that are distinguishable enough from the regular ones. And I'm not going to be doing any accessories for them because money, but also space, but also like what would count as accessory, and like I'd be here all day. Though I might change my mind on that when I get around to that video, who knows, but that's just my 2 cents for now. But yeah, anyway, I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I'll see you all later.